The Zevo likes to talk about life while he's shooting people in the face. The Zevo.
What is going on, everybody? It's Lazevo here. I am back. Is it safe to come out of my cubbyhole? Are the Call of Duty Ghosts videos done being posted? Probably not, but for a while there, they were just blowing up my timeline. Man, I don't know. I subscribe to IGN, and they're just constantly blowing up my timeline with all kinds of gaming news. And when Call of Duty was being revealed, and it was crazy. It was craziness. But anyway, I'm back. I haven't posted in a long time, and so I figured I would treat you guys with another story, because that's what I do. I talk about life while I shoot people in the face. Or in this case, I'm playing League of Legends, and I'm clawing people in the face with Warwick. This is a little ARAM gameplay. Like I said, it's not at all going to be about what's going on in the background here. I'm going to tell you guys a story, and but I wanted to show you this because I am playing League of Legends. I'm loving this game. For a free game, for a free-to-play game, this is one of the most amazing games I've ever played. I'm enjoying it. It's a nice break from every shooter game that I'm used to playing, and I haven't picked up a shooter game in a while. I'm just getting bored with the games that I have and the genre in general, and I'm really enjoying this and learning this, and I'm getting better. I'm no longer the worst League of Legends player, so I feel pretty good about that. But what I thought I would do, because this is my birthday week, I would tell you guys the story of my drunken 21st birthday. Probably the drunkest I've ever been in my life. Now, I don't condone anything in this video. I don't even suggest or advise that you guys do this, but this was just how things happened for me. I thought this might be entertaining for you guys. So basically, my birthday here is in the third week of August. So if you go back to my 21st birthday, that time in my life, I was entering my junior year of college. And if any of you go to college, you probably know that orientation week in school for freshmen is like the biggest party time of the year. I always tried to get back, or one of the biggest party times, I should say. I always tried to get back up there for orientation week, so I'd be up there about a week early before school started. You just get settled in, you're hanging out with your friends that you haven't seen in, all summer. And in my case, I was in a fraternity, so, I'm hanging out with all my fraternity brothers that, are scattered across the country all over summer. So it's good to get back and see those guys and just enjoy some time up there before school starts, before you have to start getting serious about classes and that kind of thing. And it happened to be that week was my 21st birthday. Now, where I went to school, it's a little bit different than everywhere else in the world, probably. I don't know, maybe in the South or something it's the same, but your 21st birthday, like, I know people that went out around the Detroit area where I grew up, and they cut them off like real early. Like they get them like eight drinks or something, and then the bartender cuts them off. Well, where I went to school, it was pretty much commonplace for them to not cut you off when they think you're too drunk, but to literally provide you with a bucket, and when you throw up, then they cut you off. You're done. Now, at this stage in my life, I was probably in the best drinking condition I've ever been. I could drink so much back then. It was crazy. You're in a fraternity, you're going to parties 4 nights a week, and I was probably drinking beer, at least having a beer, probably 6 nights a week. Like, I remember I would go down to our fraternity basement, we'd have a keg of beer on tap almost all the time, and I would literally pour a giant mug of beer, which our fraternity mugs were like three beers, and I'd sit down and study. Like, that was just my normal routine. So even I was just hanging out drinking a beer, every once in a while. And so I don't think I was getting drunk that often, but maybe 1 or 2 times a week. But I was definitely having at least a beer, probably 6 days a week. That's probably pretty good. And so I was conditioned. I was a mean. I don't know if I was lean, but I was a mean drinking machine. Man, I don't think I was lean at all. I think I was probably the heaviest I've ever been when I was in college. But So this kind of sets up the story. So my 21st birthday rolls around, and my friends, as is common on your 21st, they take you out to the bar at midnight, because when the time changes, the new day comes along, and the bartender now is allowed to serve you. So we arrived at the bar about 11:45 in the p.m. with a group of maybe 8 or 9 of us. And our fraternity had a little tradition where they would take you out to the bar, and one person would kind of be designated like a secretary. If you're in if you're in a fraternity or an organization, there's always a secretary that takes the meeting minutes, and records everything. So what this person would do is actually record each drink that you were given. They would write it down. So you'd say like number 1, you get a shot of Jim Beam or something, and they would write down like who bought it for you, and as they're documenting this, they would write any funny things that are said or done along the way. So I remember getting there. My buddies, one of my buddies is designated the secretary, and he's documenting my drinks, and my friends proceed to start abusing me, right? It's pretty much abuse, because they're not buying you good shots. Some of your friends will be nice and they'll buy you good shots. Some of your friends won't. Okay. Now, here's what I advise if this happens to you. Don't be one of those guys that sits there and sips the shot to find out what it is, or smells it, or whatever. Just do the shot. Just get it done and move on. Your friends are going to buy you. Some of them will be good. Some of them will be awful. Some of them are going to be fruity. Some of them are going to be like, whipped cream and like blowjob shots, and they're going to want you to do them like without using your hands and all that stuff. Just go along with it. It's your birthday. Have fun. Enjoy the free drinks, right? So that was my attack on this. I wasn't gonna ask what things were. I was just gonna do the shot, and then maybe ask what it was after the fact. And this worked out well for me. Other than I can remember. I can remember a couple shots that were probably the one in particular was the worst shot I've ever had in my life, and it was called the turkey nest, which is it has wild turkey in it, which my boy Silverback can appreciate. That's his drink of choice. But one of the things that's popular to eat at the bars up there, popular bar food, is pickled eggs, which are delicious, by the way. If you've never had them and you get the opportunity, I highly recommend it. And basically, it's a hard-boiled egg that's pickled with, this pickle juice brine that has a bunch of peppers. They're kind of spicy. You put peppers and Tabasco and some salt and pepper on it. They're delicious, right? But this turkey's nest shot was a ground-up pickled egg with a double shot of wild turkey. It had kind of the texture of cottage cheese and tasted like pickled egg and burning. That was the one I can remember that was hard to swallow. But luckily, I don't remember too much. I can remember I was doing these shots, and I looked down at my buddy who was recording all this stuff, and I remember shot number 13, which was the last that I remember, right? And it was, I asked my buddy what it was. He said it was liquid cocaine, which I'm not even sure what's in it at this point. I don't remember. Maybe you guys can, if you guys remember what this shot is, put it in the chat, because I don't remember. But it was called liquid cocaine, and I was like, that sounds interesting. I took the shot and literally time traveled. I don't black out from drinking very often, but I did this night. Okay, at your 21st birthday, you're probably gonna get that drunk. I literally time traveled. I took that shot, and then I woke up at 10:30 in the morning the next day. That was my 21st birthday. And I remember I woke up and I looked around. I was wearing just a pair of basketball shorts. I was laying in the hallway of the second floor of my fraternity house with a pillow and a blanket. And I was still absolutely drunk when I woke up. And I remember thinking, wow, that was a crazy night. Like, I don't remember anything. And I also remember I had the thought, well, at least I didn't throw up. And I walked downstairs, and a couple of my buddies had set up. I don't remember what they had. It was a PlayStation 2 or something, but they set it up and in like the common area of our fraternity house, the living room, and they were playing. There was like 5 or 6 of them playing games. It was like, just a morning thing. And I come stumbling down, and they're like, "Hey, he's alive." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't remember a thing." I was like, "At least I didn't throw up." And they're like, "Dude, what are you talking about? You threw up for like 4 hours." I was like, "What? I don't remember any of this. Like, tell me what happened." And they said, "Well, here's the log." And they give me the sheet, and I look at it, and I apparently drank 24 shots. Now, mind you, we got there at midnight to the bar, and the bars close at 2 in Michigan. So in 2 hours, I did 24 shots. And my friends had this drunken logic. Like, I got to, I don't know, shot 24 or something like that, and they decided that they had the thought, like, he is not going to throw up. Like, he needs to throw up now. He's drank too much. So then they start pumping me up with shots. They're just like feeding him to me, trying to get me to throw up. These are good friends of mine, right? And part of the problem with doing 24 shots is that you get to the point where all of your friends that are supposed to be taking care of you are also very, very drunk. So they're not thinking straight because they're all, doing shots and drinking with you. And for some reason, they thought it was a good idea, or I thought that I could walk home from the bar, which was probably about 1.5 miles to the bar where we were at. And I finally threw up at the bar at some point before we left, and then they said, "Okay, let's get him out of here." And it was pretty close to 2 in the morning, I guess. And they were trying to walk me home. So they said I was literally like draped over 2 of my buddies. And they were. I'm a pretty big guy. Like I said, I was probably the biggest I ever was in college. I was probably 290 or something like that. And 2 of my buddies that probably weigh like 180, 175 are on either side of me trying to carry me home. And they got about, 100 feet down the road, and they were like, "Yeah, this isn't going to work. We're going to call for a ride." Our fraternity has sober drivers pretty much every Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. We had a sober driving program. So they called that guy. That guy was like, "Just stay where you're at. I'll come get you. Don't try to take him home. That's ridiculous, And so they came and got me, and they get me back to the fraternity house, and I go to the second floor bathroom and just proceed to pray to the porcelain god for almost the rest of the night. I guess I had thrown up a little bit on myself, which is an ugly situation. So they were like, "All right, we got to get him in the shower." And so they like literally stripped my clothes off, threw me in the shower, and I guess I was just naked in the shower, and apparently I was like trying to pull the curtain closed, and I'm like, "I need some privacy." And my buddy Joe was like, "Oh, he needs some privacy, close the door." They're all laughing, whatever. They best described me as like a 300-pound spring when they were trying to move me. I guess somebody was holding my head up above the toilet, and at one point it was like they dropped me and it just went off the toilet. So I was gone, and it was the drunkest I've ever been in my life. I don't recommend ever getting that drunk. I was probably, like, if you had taken me to the hospital, they probably would have pumped my stomach, but my friends were too drunk to do that. So they just got me out of the shower, tried to drag me to my bed. Again, I was like a 300-pound spring. They got me to just outside the bathroom door, and they said, "Just get him a pillow. He's clean, and we'll keep an eye on him." So that's where I was. That's when I woke up. It was a crazy 21st birthday. It's good to be back making a video for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I will talk to you later.